Hi, I am Yuki, and today I will be your storyteller. Make yourself comfortable and we'll get right on it. Chapter 1. In the divine realm, 3 figures were seen conversing. One of them asked why he was being betrayed. Meanwhile, they used to have each other's backs while defending the divine realm. The other 2 figures then replied that it was because he has gotten too powerful and his existence has become a threat to them. One of the figures is known as the Lord of Chaos, and the other is known as the Lord of Origins. One of the other 2 figures then mentioned that they'd be at ease only by pushing him into an endless reincarnation cycle and wearing out his soul. After that, the Lord of Chaos faced the other figure, telling him to just remain in the cycle forever and writhe in agony. After that, he bid him goodbye. After that, the figure mentioned that he'd be back, and when that day comes, he'll have their heads. While he flew away with his eyes closed, he kept telling them that he was definitely going to return. Chapter 2. 10,000 reincarnations later, in the Fengdu Temple, one of the figures is seen sitting, talking to himself about how he has finally regained his freedom. With a golden stone in his hand, he mentioned that he could break free from the never-ending cycle thanks to the heart of vital principles. After that, he held onto his fist, saying that he met with all of them and met his clan's downfall in all 10,000 lifetimes with no expectations. Then he ordered his guards to kill, eradicate, and exterminate the Tan clan. He said to himself that he wouldn't make the same mistake anymore. Then he called out to his father, who was seen dying with blood coming out of his mouth. While his father mentioned his name, Tan Yun, to leave him, his sister, who's known as Nangang Yuchin, came calling out to him and asking what he was doing outside. She told him to hurry up and run. After that, one of the guards told Tan Yun to go. He told him that he must live. As long as he's alive, they have hope. Another guard told young Master Yun that as long as he's alive, the clan can continue. After that, a young man who's known as Liu Boyi and a lady who's also known as Liu Ruyan appeared in front of them with their guards with them. One of the Tan Yun guards struck his sword at them, telling them they aren't going anywhere. Then Liu Boyi told Tan Yun that he might consider him if he could kneel down and beg for mercy. Meanwhile, Tan Yun walked towards Liu Boyi, telling him he doesn't care if he begs for mercy. He's still going to kill him. Liu Boyi guards were seen conversing with one another. One of them asked if Tan Yun was crazy. Another said that Tan Yun is nothing but a worthless third-level spiritual cultivator. He kept on saying that he couldn't believe he had to say that to their lord, Liu Boyi. Another person asked if that was going to be his last word. Afterwards, Liu Boyi strikes his sword towards Tan Yun. He said to Tan Yun that since he was looking forward to his death, he'd fulfill that wish for him. Then, Tan Yun's father, who was seen in a pool of blood, shouted his name and told him to watch out. Chapter 3. After that, a fight struck between the 2, which caused primeval chaos. Liu Boyi was shocked at how powerful Tan Yun became while fighting. Liu Boyi hit him on the nose, causing him to bleed from the nose. The people at the scene were shocked by the situation. A lady asked if Yun just beat Liu. Another said it was impossible for such a thing to happen. Liu collapsed to the ground, blood on his face. Those who were at the scene kept on asking themselves different questions and commenting on how Tan Yun could win over Liu Boyi with just a punch. Another audience member said that how could Tan Yun win against Liu Boyi in a fight when Liu Boyi is an 8-level spiritual cultivator powerhouse? A lady mentioned that by the gods, he turned the tide of battle in a single instant. After that, Tan Yun told Liu Boyi that it was too late for him, even if he begged for his life. Meanwhile, Liu Boyi stood on his feet and told Tan Yun that he hasn't lost yet. Then he called out Sir Bai and requested that he help him kill Tan Yun. Bai Qisheng appeared at the scene. Tan Yun questioned himself about Bai Qisheng's presence at the scene. He asked himself if the heavens truly wanted his family gone. Bai Qisheng is the town's pioneer and top alchemist. Rumors say he's a fully ascended spiritual cultivator. An audience member said that if Bai Qisheng was the one to attack, then there would be no hope anymore for the Tan clan. He further said that it doesn't matter how amazing Tan Yun is. He can't win against Bai Qisheng. However, Tan Yun laughed and asked Liu Boyi if he did call upon Bai Qisheng because he didn't give him a swift death. Meanwhile, Bai Qisheng asked him what he meant. Chapter 4. Bai Qisheng, on the other hand, accelerated his attack on Tan Yun. Then he asked him what he said and if he was also looking down on him. Liu Boyi told Bai Qisheng that there's no one in Yuwang town that doesn't know about his power. He allegedly told him that Tan Yun insulted his name and he mustn't hold back. A red-haired lady interrupted their conversation and told Bai Qisheng that Liu Boyi was right and that Tan Yun had gotten too arrogant. After that, Tan Yun told Bai Qisheng that he wondered if what he heard about him recently searching for the formula for soul pills was true. Bai Qisheng asked Tan Yun how he knew he was looking for the formula. Tan Yun replied that he had been stuck at the peak of the spinal cultivation realm for more than 20 years. Tan Yun further told Bai Qisheng that without the soul pills, he would never be able to break through, and he has the complete formula in his possession. This made Bai Qisheng shocked. Then two men were seen conversing about how the soul pills are able to greatly boost the power of cultivators from the spiritual cultivators realm, and also how they can help cultivators at the peak of their ascent. One of the men mentioned that it's practically a miracle pill, and with the soul pills, they'd be able to build an army of peak spiritual cultivators in just a few years. One of those men asked how Tan Yun could get his hands on such a precious formula. However, one of those men told the elder Bai not to listen to Tai Yun and called him garbage. He continued by telling Bai Qisheng that Tan Yun is obviously deceiving him about the soul pill formula. The red-haired lady replied that he's right, and Tan Yun would have long dominated Yuwang town if he did have the formula. Meanwhile, Bai agreed to their conversation. Then he went in to attack Yun, telling him that Yun had tried to deceive him. Then Yun brought out the formula and asked Bai to open his eyes so he could recognize what was in his hands. Then Yun strangled it on Bai Qisheng's forehead while a guard asked Bai what the matter was. Chapter 5. A massive surge of energy emanating from Bai Qisheng made him ascend after being struck on the forehead with the soul pill formula Tan Yun showed him. He felt the power surge, then he asked himself, "Is this the formula to create soul pills?" After he thought he had gotten the formula for the soul pills, he went to ask Tan Yun for the whereabouts of the remaining formula. After that, one of the men at the scene told another man to look at Elder Bai and ask if the Tan Yun formula was the real deal. One of the men asked, "How could that be? Doesn't everyone know how much of a loser Tan Yun is? How did he get such a precious recipe?" The two men kept asking each other questions. One asked if he somehow got lucky. Tan Yun told Bai Qisheng that if he wanted the rest, his willingness to give it to him would be determined by how he behaves. Meanwhile, Bai Qisheng told Tan Yun he understands. He further called Tan Yun master and told him that he'd make it worth his while. Liu Boyi called out to Elder Bai as he was about to tell him that he'd give him half the wealth. Liu clan and Elder Bai Qisheng became angry and pierced out his two eyes, which led to him bleeding. Liu Boyi was seen lying dead in a pool of blood. After this incident, Tan Yun told Bai Qisheng that he should continue and that he had done an excellent job. The red-haired lady who was seen shouting, "Father!" is seen on her knees pleading with Tan Yun not to kill her. She told him she knows she has done wrong, but he should spare her. She promised Tan Yun that she would do anything he asked as long as she lived. Then Tan Yun confirmed if she was really sincere with what she was saying. Then he ordered her to take off her clothes. The girl, who was in tears, did as she was told. Chapter 6. Meanwhile, people were surprised at what Liu Ruyan did for Tan Yun. One of those men said Liu Ruyan used to be haughty and used to treat Tan Yun with nothing but disdain. Another man said she's been seen lying on her back, offering herself to Tan Yun. Another said he can't blame her because her life is in her hands at the moment. He further said he never believed how blind he was while treating Tan Yun as a goddess. After that, Tan Yun told Liu Ruyan that he was not interested in her. He called her people's leftovers. Then he kicked her off, which made her fall to the ground. There came Bai Qisheng. He told Liu Ruyan that since Master Tan isn't interested in her, he's afraid that he'll have to kill her. Liu Ruyan begged him not to kill her, but he struck her with his power, which made her bleed from her mouth till she died. Then the guards were afraid because both their master and lady were dead, and Tan Yun had gotten Bai Qisheng on his side, which meant they were no match for them. Then they dropped their swords, and they all fled. Tan Yun called out and ordered the members of the Tan clan to leave no one alive among those guards that fled. Then the battle began, and they began killing all of the Liu Boyi guards. After this incident, Bai Qisheng went back to ask Tan Yun for the formula for the soul pill, since he trusted that his service had been satisfactory. Then Tan Yun gave him a sword and told him that he must not see him in Yuewang again, otherwise he'll kill him. We will continue this story soon. In the meanwhile, you can choose from this exciting stories. See you there!